Welcome to the Big Old Bad Old Broadcast. I'm glad you're here. I am CharLee Simons, your host here on Do Not Talk. Talk about two things you're never supposed to talk about: politics and religion. Talking to the people I'm not supposed to talk to, like, people running for office, like Greg ABDOUCH. Who? Psst. Take it easy. I'll introduce him. You'll be glad. You'll be glad you're here and that you get to meet him and you get to hear what he has to say. You get to hear what it's like to actually run for office. You get to experience the life of somebody putting it all on the line, putting their reputation out there, putting oftentimes their own money, having to run for office. You want to get hero status with me? Tell me you're running for office, as long as you're a conservative. If you're on the left, I figure that's what you do. You want your cushy little government job, so that's what you do. You run for anything, even dog catcher. On the left, they're permeating local office and state, county, city. Look what's happening in Avenal, California. You've seen that? What's going on? They had a special election to recall 4 of the city council of the town of Avenal. It's just a little old farming community in the San Joaquin Valley, Central California, Fresno area. And Avenal, 75% of the people who lived there who were registered to vote and actually voted in this recall election said, yeah, get them out. 75% said we want them gone. They suck. We weren't paying attention. We let them sneak in. We didn't get involved. And now we're paying the price and we want to fix it. We want to fix it. So they had an election. These 4 city council members have all said, no, we're not leaving. And the law is involved. And they had a city council meeting and a lot of the residents showed up and they were pissed. They had encounters with the police department. They're saying, listen, you work for us. What are you doing? What are you high? Get these people out of here. We voted them out.
Action News reporter Anna Terrell attended that meeting tonight and brings us the tense moments.
3 of the 4 recalled city council members attended tonight's meeting at the Avenal Theater. Leticia Gamez was not present, but recall organizers also served new court documents to those recalled city council members. And at one point during the meeting, it got really contentious that half the room, which was mostly recall supporters, walked out.
So you might as well just pack your stuff, vacate, relocate.
A heated exchange between Avenal's recalled mayor Alvaro Preciado and community members during Thursday night's meeting. At one point, Preciado called for a recess, but recall supporters ended up walking out. Earlier this year, the Kings County Registrar of Voters certified the recall election. Election reps say 73% of voters supported recalling 4 of the city's council members, but city leaders refused to step down. Last week, Attorney General Rob Bonta gave the green light for the lawsuit seeking to remove the 4 council members.
We're ready to obviously go through the process, the Toronto process, as prescribed by the AG, have our day in court.
We had a democratic process that they said it was good.
In June, the Kings County District Attorney and Sheriff sent a cease and desist letter to the recalled council members.
Our city government needs to continue functioning. There is no mechanism in place that allows our council or allows our government to just suspend and freeze.
Ricardo Verdugo, the only sitting council member legally allowed to participate in city activities and authorize city spending, chose to attend Thursday evening's meeting out of protest.
I'm not participating in any action that requires a lawful quorum and cannot provide one. I will not participate in closed session.
I just hope they realize that they're putting themselves in a situation they don't want to be in.
Proponents of the recall say they are fed up with the lack of transparency and the disrespect from city leaders.
I think you guys lost the moral compass a long time ago. I believe, can you please look at me when I'm talking to you guys?
But they are not surprised that Preciado, Reynosa, and Hernandez showed up to Thursday evening's meeting.
Our citizens are tired of it. We're done. We want to see them out of their position. We want our vote to be honored.
Nope. We're not leaving. That's happening right now. Damn. So, if you're running for office, I think the best advice I can give to anybody is don't believe your own press. Like, for example, this guy, conservative area, running for office, did this ad thinking I'm playing to my base. These are my buddies. My buddies in the locker room will love this ad. Man, this will get me elected.
Catching new heat this morning, Republican Senate candidate Eric Greitens, flanked by a team dressed in tactical gear, all armed with guns, storming a home, saying in the ad they're hunting rhinos or Republicans in name only, a derogatory term for GOP members seen as not loyal enough to the party. No bagging limit, no tagging limit, Greitens says, asking people to get a rhino hunting permit. Critics immediately slamming the ad as a call to violence. Texas Democrat Joaquin Castro describing it as sociopathic, warning Greitens, you're going to get someone killed.
Coming from the left, who loves to incorporate their base to go to riot and to turn violence into anything that they want to see stopped. That's hilarious.
A conservative commentator calling it a dumb, dangerous troll. Facebook taking down the video, which has not aired on TV, only posted online. Twitter leaving it up in the public interest, it said, but with a warning it violated the company's abusive behavior policy. Greitens' campaign manager, in a statement to NBC News, says those who have an issue with the video and the metaphor are either lying or dumb. We believe big tech and its oligarchs are both, with Greitens tweeting and touting a news story about the controversy.
We have announced a great wake-up call.
The candidate in a crowded conservative field in Missouri courting the endorsement of former President Trump. Greitens has faced calls to drop out over domestic violence accusations, his ex-wife saying he physically abused their child, which he denies. He served as Missouri's governor, but resigned in 2018 after...
Wait a minute. Let's take that back. Was that a current wife or was that an ex-wife? Let me take it back a little bit. I want to hear it. Was that an ex-wife that said that?
Domestic violence accusations. His ex-wife saying he physically abused their child, which he denies.
There it is. Ex-wife. Again, all you got to do is even make such a claim and everybody goes, oh, it must have happened. Ex-wife. Embittered ex-wife.
He served as Missouri's governor, but resigned in 2018 after allegations against him of sexual abuse and blackmail and criminal charges that were later dropped. His new video coming at a time of increasing concern over political violence.
Charges, by the way, doesn't mean you're guilty. And the fact that the charges were dropped, they obviously did what they could to get this true conservative out of there by just with a smear campaign. I keep seeing this over and over and over again.
With the January 6th attack back in the headlines during this month's hearings about it on Capitol Hill, lawmakers reporting death threats in the months since the insurrection, including Republican Adam Kinzinger sharing an anonymous letter he received threatening to execute him, his wife, and his infant son.
There is violence.
How about that? Huh?
In the future, I'm going to tell you. And until we get a grip on telling people the truth, we can't expect any differently.
Some of Eric Greitens' Republican primary opponents are criticizing him, with one calling the ad completely irresponsible. Democrats are casting this as a political issue with national implications. Congressman Eric Swalwell, for example, blaming Republican leaders Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy for failing to confront and condemn, in his words, MAGA radicals.
Did you catch who made that statement? Eric Swalwell. Oh my goodness, this is so classic. I'm looking forward to getting to know Greg better. So let's get him into the mix now, get him on the show and Do Not Talk. Are you ready? Hit it. Hello, Greg.
Hello, Charlie. How are you?
I'm borderline amazing. I'm actually getting more and more confident as we get closer to the midterm election this coming November here in California. I'm getting more and more confident that perhaps I myself, remember what I said at the very beginning? Don't listen to your own press. Yep. Don't think that just because everybody else is telling you you're great that you necessarily are. Just keep that in mind. I'm not saying don't do what you want to do and what you think is right. Do what you want to do what you think is right, but just don't do it because you're thinking, oh, this is going to impress my buddies. That's all I'm saying. So I don't do anything because this is going to impress my buddies. But that dude in Missouri has definitely been quite a lightning rod. Brighton, And the more I learned about Missouri, the more I like it there. But and my friend Mike Cook is there. I'm going to be on the air with him tonight. As a matter of fact, 6:15. We do a show called Talk About It. CharLee and Mike talk about it. But so I'll be right here on this channel as well. By the way, this is Greg ABDOUCH. Did I say that right?
You did. You did perfect.
ABDOUCH. And where are you out of?
I'm out of Inland Empire, Southern California.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
Got a lot of family and friends down there.
Good.
I'm a native Californian. Did you grow up here?
I did. I grew up in the high desert, Apple Valley, and born and raised there. Went to high school there. Played baseball there.
Bakersfield.
There you go.
Yeah. So I get the high desert thing.
Yeah.
You're going to grow up tough, or you're going to run away screaming, never coming back. Those are your two choices.
Both. Just depends.
A little of both. You're going to run away screaming, then get tough, and then come back.
Exactly.
So did you go to college? What was your major and all that?
I went to college. I actually majored in marine biology. After 2 years and got my AA degree, decided, well, I'd rather go into business. So I left college and went into sales and never looked back.
When I started in college, remember what he just said. He grew up in the desert.
Yeah.
When I started in college, my major was marine biology. Dude, what are the odds of that? And we're both desert guys.
Exactly.
And my family's going, you grew up in the desert. What are you doing wanting to be a marine biologist? I just want to get away from the desert. What are you kidding? Get me close to something where I'm working with the ocean. That's funny. But then I, of course, got into media and never looked back. But what's it been like for you there? Are your family is originally from Syria?
Yes.
You were born here, though?
I was born here. My parents were born here. My grandparents on both my mother and dad's side both came over from the old country. And
what was that like? What was that like? Have they told you stories? Have you been there? Have you ever seen what it's like there? I've never been there.
I've never been
to Israel.
I was supposed to go when I was graduated high school, and they were at war. And I think they've been at war every other year.
I was just going to say, when are they not at war?
It was never the right time to go, and never, and I don't have any family over there that I know of. So it's never really been a draw, other than I really want to see the Middle East. I have a daughter, though, that is a missionary. She's been in missionary service for the last 3 years.
Awesome.
And she's been in the Middle East several times. So it's interesting. But yeah, my family came over, opened businesses, opened grocery stores, and laid roots and taught us how to appreciate our culture, appreciate where we came from, but respect the flag and respect the country. And so that's the way I grew up.
I was on a conference call with a group of conservatives who are, trying to strategize for the midterm election and how can we get more younger people involved in what we're doing and understanding the ideals and get them turned away from their running headlong into socialism. And one of them said he was criticizing our own party because somebody at an event he went to had a sign that said, deport all immigrants. Now, I didn't get to ask him, did it really say immigrants or did it say illegals? Because that's two very different things. But he was saying that that we're turning away all the Mexican people, the Latino vote. They're running away from that, and they don't like Trump anymore. They voted for him, but now they regret it, and it's all because we've been saying get these illegals out of here. And my point to him was, wait, no, there are people who came here legally who don't like all the people who are here illegally. Yes. They want to see them deported. They don't think it's right either. And they see what's happening to jobs and services and what a strain it has put on, especially we Californians. Am I right on that or off base? I know you're Syrian.
Right. You're dead right. But even more so than that, I actually bumped into a lady this weekend, 4th of July weekend, right? Celebrating 250 years of America. This girl was born here in the States. She's a DACA kid. But she's now 27 years old. She's gotten her paperwork filed and pushed through every single year. She's legal here. She has a number. She works, she pays taxes, she's a legal citizen. Isn't it interesting that the state of California failed to file her paperwork this year, and she is now illegal, and immediately, the day after her paperwork wasn't filed correctly, Walmart fired her and all of her friends that were in the same boat.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I just found this out. We're just digging into this story right now. And
Why?
she was out. Here's the important part, though. She was out there celebrating what America's all about. Because even though the state messed up her paperwork, she believes wholeheartedly in a country and a flag that defends freedom and your right to citizenship.
So it was the state that screwed up that caused
The
this.
state was screwed up. And it's happening across the board in several situations right now.
And is where does she immigrate from?
Mexico. Her mom came over.
I can't understand. I can't explain this one. I thought that, is it because she's here legally that they're not interested in her staying?
I don't want to make any speculation, but my assumption.
But you said it's
would be-
happening a lot, so it's not like it was just an accident, a snafu.
Well, in her one situation at Walmart, she said there was like 20 of them, all on the same day, gone. They let them all go because Walmart could not hire and have illegals working for them. But the day before, and she's been with Walmart for over 10 years. The day before, they all had jobs. So how are they now illegal? Or is there something going on? I mean, this is just a question. I'm not making a statement. This is a question. Is there something going on that's causing the state to have more people that are upset with the so-called Trump administration or ICE or immigration or whatever else you want to look at? And my claim as an elected official, as running for office, is we need to make it easier, right? These people that are here,
I agree.
These people that have been pushing through for years and years and years and contributing to society, they're not the problem. They are not the ones that we should be looking at. And the fact that we have so many different people out there that are waiting years and years and years. My family didn't wait years. My family went through the process, filed the paperwork, paid a nominal fee, not a bunch of money.
It is a bunch of money now.
It is a bunch of money now. And it's a tremendous amount of time. I've got friends that have been trying to go through this process for over 20 years. And they have spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to get this done. It's not right. It's not right what we're doing. Now, this isn't a state issue. This is a federal issue. But I plan on very strongly working with our federal elected to push through and to change these laws to get it better for my community. Because what we're doing right now in our state is cleaning up a mess. And you can't clean up one mess and not look at the problem that we've created and not fix that as well. So that's where I stand on this.
Yes, that we have created. Yeah. That's a tough one. Are you talking about amnesty for those who are already here, even though they came across illegally?
I think there needs to be a fast track. I think there needs to be a system in place that we look at a person's record, right? Have they been filing taxes? Are they paying their taxes? Do they have a job? Are they established? Do they have some of these? She was walking around with her husband.
Which is what you have to do to be considered to be to get a work visa. I know this because I worked in Canada for half a year, and I had to go through all kinds of stuff. How much money's in my bank? Do I have somebody to stay with? Who are they? I had to get them on the phone at customs. I had to get them on the phone, and they had to say, yes, he's got a place to stay. He's invited. I had to jump through a whole bunch of hoops just to get a work permit or work visa, which they wound up turning into a visitor's visa. So I couldn't even stay and work anymore. I had to leave after 6 months unless I stayed there and was illegal. That's Canada. all countries have very stringent rules and regs before you can be considered to just come waltzing right in and go, hey, I live here now. Where are the freebies? But look at what we did under 4 years of Biden. Appalling. So you're right when you say we've done this to ourselves. Absolutely, we have.
Right.
And some are, and I know I've worked with them. I grew up Bakersfield, working on ranches. I've worked around a lot of people of questionable citizenship, and man, they were fun. They were hardworking. One guy comes to mind named Jess. Hey, Charles. He always called me. Hey, Charles, come here, Charles. Yeah, Jess, we got to go over and we got to mow those irrigation pipes in the back 40 acres. Right now, or later. Yeah, no, right now, Jess. We're going now. Get the tractor. We're going now. I loved him. He was fun. And so that's what I grew up with. Where I went to school, I was the minority. I was the minority white kid. But you're right. We make it so difficult, but yet the simple basic things like what I just talked about. Do you have money, or are you just coming in to get on welfare immediately? Didn't seem to matter. Just come right on in, come walking in. Oh, by the way, here's a debit card with $2,000 on it from your Catholic Charities buddies, which was actually from FEMA, which means it was our tax dollars. Oh, and here's your free phone. Oh, by the way, here's an attorney that we are going to take care of. Won't cost you anything. Who will help you get all set up with all the kind of freebies and stuff you need and a place to live. Oh, speaking of a place to live, where do you want to go? We'll send you there. That happened for 4 years. Greg?
Yeah.
4 years. Up to 50 million people here illegally. So when President Trump started saying, everybody's going back, I was one of the ones going, yeah, everybody has to, and you're going to do it right. But we do have to make it easier, because what Greg just described is absolutely, that's reality. It is so expensive now. And all the hoops you have to jump through and all the fees you have to pay. And that's the bottom line right there, isn't it? It's all about the money, isn't it? But they're not even asking any kind of questions that they asked me to go work in Canada. We don't ask those questions at all. We don't care.
No.
Oh, you got some kids with you? Well, we're going to set you up immediately to get $1,500 per kid per month, or whatever the amount was, something stupid like that. And, they're your kids because you say so? Well, okay.
But
Greg, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And I was in construction for over 20 years.
You get it. You worked with a lot of illegals.
So guys that worked with me were here. And guys that own businesses that were going through the process of trying to get their citizenship. One guy, he was doing it for 18 years. He has 5 kids. He's married. He's the only one in his family that wasn't, quote unquote, legally citizened here. Yet he had already put up almost $20,000 and 18 years to go through the process. He was at the last step before COVID hit. And when COVID hit, they literally told him, after COVID came back online and, the world went back to somewhat normal, oh, you got to go back and start at square one.
Shut up.
Or you can go back to your natural born place of origin.
That was still under Biden, by the way.
Correct. This is under Biden. Go back to your original place of origin, stay there for 30 days.
And come back illegally.
And then come back as a immigrant.
Or what is that term when they're running away from an oppressive government? Asylum seeker.
Yeah.
That gets you automatically. In.
Anyways, that's enough about federal stuff. Let's go into the state stuff.
Yeah, let's go into the state stuff, because you're running for state office. You're running for assembly.
I am.
In what district?
45. Right.
So anybody who's most people don't even really know what an assembly person does. But you want to see a good example of somebody who takes the ball and runs with it. Carl DeMaio, love him or hate him. Personally, I'm not all that crazy about him, but I sure do like the stuff he's done. And because of him and his pushing of this coming November on the ballot, is going to be, I mean, forget the Senate, the federal Senate not passing the Save America Act and not doing anything with it. He's got it on the ballot that you have to show ID to vote.
Yes. Yes. And that's
on the ballot because of Carl DeMaio. And that's what an assemblyman can do.
Not only is it on the ballot, Charles, it's on the ballot with a 70% rating. 70%. We don't have 70% Republicans in this state. That means this is a bipartisan approval, 70%. As long as we get out and vote, we will have voter ID.
Yeah. As long as we actually show up.
Which is great.
And then we got to get rid of these mail-in ballots. And I'm not talking about the the stuff for shut-ins and the both serving overseas in the military and so on. That's an absentee ballot. It's a very different thing. What Governor Hairdo did during the COVID shutdown, all under the guise of it's for our own good, so we don't have to go to a polling place. It's better. We'll just mail a ballot to you. Well, I serve with a sergeant in the State Guard, Army State Guard, who has been at the same house for over 20 years, and he gets 5 ballots every election. 5. He lives there by himself. It's his place. 5 ballots. Now, if he was dishonest, he could easily fill out for whomever or whatever he wants, all 5 of those ballots, mail it in. But he's not that kind of guy.
Right.
There are many people who are that kind of guy. And they absolutely will take advantage of it. And that's this mail-in ballot thing, as Jimmy Carter himself, King Democrat himself said, there's no greater way to cheat in an election through mail-in ballots. Can you do anything to get rid of that as an assemblyman? What could you do?
So there's a bunch of things that we can do actually as an assembly person. And that's one of the reasons why one of the things I stand on is you got to speak up, right? You have to actually talk. The problem with a lot of our elected officials right now is they're not communicating with either side, meaning they're not talking to their community, they're not talking to the people that voted them in, and they're not talking on the floor. The guy I'm running against right now, he doesn't show up. He has an F grade from the Democrat side, and he's an elected Democrat because he simply doesn't show up for his community. And that's one of the biggest things is what are your, as an elected official, what are your constituents wanting to happen? Are they wanting mail-in ballots? Or are they not? And if they're not, then you need to bring that to the table at the assembly level and open up that conversation with your peers, with your constituents. What's going on in Sacramento right now is we have a dictator leadership that literally makes phone calls to the upper echelon of, sorry, I had somebody walk into my office, had an upper echelon of Democrats, and they pass whatever Newsom wants, whatever he wants. There's no negotiations. There's no conversation, and that's one of the biggest.
They're having emergency meetings. I mean, when Nick Shirley came to California and started busting the fraud here, they have an emergency midnight session and decide, we're going to pass this law to stop Nick Shirley. It's insane what's going on. Assembly Bill 73?
Yes.
This is crazy what's happening. And they're just doing it. It's like, well, this is their last ditch effort. It's almost as if they see the writing on the wall and they know that they're about to lose it all. Or am I being too confident?
No, I think that's exactly what's going on. I think they're nervous. I think that's one of the reasons why you saw what happened in LA in such a big way. I think that's why you have a governor. Like, how do you make a statement? How do you make a public statement that says, oh, we have a break the glass scenario if it looks like Democrats are going to get shut out?
I know.
How do you make that and not get arrested for treason?
So stinking arrogant. They're so arrogant.
Yeah.
And they know they got all the media on their side.
Right.
That's why I offer my show to folks like you who are running for office and no, because nobody else is. And it's definitely the other side. Mainstream media is not going to talk to you. They don't want you espousing your views because you're speaking for so many of the people you live with, your neighbors, your friends, your family. They feel the way you do. Now we just got to get them rallying together and actually show up to vote. Get registered. Let's start there. Register to vote.ca.gov. Register to vote.ca.gov. Just freaking get registered to vote. A third of the state of California claims to be Christian, yet only about 40% of them are even registered to vote. Greg, just the Christian vote could turn the state around in an election or two, but we're not.
Well, let me tell you how important that is right now, registering to vote. If you are listening to this program and you have any friends or yourself are not registered to vote and you register, let me boil this down just in the 45th, just in my district alone. That vote technically counts twice. Let me explain that, right? Because one, you're not on any list yet. So if you register to vote and you vote Republican or you vote Christian conservative, however you want to call it, you vote for me, then your vote not only goes towards me, but it actually goes against him because it's a point that never existed before. Does that make sense? So it's so important to register to vote. But not just yourself. Here's where we miss this as conservatives in this state. We think, oh, you know what? Okay, if I do it. No, I don't want you to do it. I want you and 10 of your friends to do it. I want you to talk to your neighbors. I want you to talk to the people you go to church with. I want you to talk to the guy at the grocery store. And I want you to ask, hey, have you heard about voter ID on the ballot? Are you registered to vote? Have you heard about Save Prop 13 on the ballot? Are you registered to vote? Have you heard about Greg ABDOUCH in the 45th? Are you registered to vote? That's how we change this state. Because let me break this down.
Yeah.
The state assembly, you asked the question, what is a state assembly person? I love answering this question. We have over 39 million people in the state of California right now. 39 million. Okay.
Does that include the illegals?
That's the ones that are registered.
Okay. Good. So we got a lot more than that. And they're voting too because they have a driver's license. Suddenly they're registered to vote. Thanks, Jerry Brown. Not an accident.
There are 80 members of the assembly and 40 members of the Senate. And you want to ask, what do those people do? Okay, that's 120 people out of 39 million that dictate your gas prices, your energy costs, your insurance rates, your grocery costs, your housing costs,
regulations,
your roads, your
businesses,
your airs, everything that we deal with in this state is being dictated by 120 people sitting in Sacramento. And if we break the supermajority in the assembly this cycle, that's only 7 seats. If we break the supermajority,
that's not given. What he's saying is that's not even giving us a majority. That's just making sure we're not in the super minority, which is where we are now. Right. So much, there's so few of us holding elected office in California because we've ignored our civic duty of voting. So they have now what is called a supermajority. And this is how they're coming together with their little midnight legislative sessions and they're freaking passing bills and Governor Hairdo signing them into law. And we don't even know. We'll find out months later when something comes up and we'll go, wait, what? They did what? I didn't know about that. You're right. You didn't. Because the media's not telling you. They're not telling you at all because they're on board with it. They love it.
Here's a perfect example. During COVID, the assembly was shut down. Everything was shut down. You couldn't go to a session. You couldn't listen to legislators were doing everything over Zoom, right? We found out 2 years later in 2023 that Connie Leyva, a current senator, signed a deal with the county of Los Angeles to allow, I think it was 42 school sites in Los Angeles County to have medical facilities on campus. We found out as parents because we showed up at a board meeting to oppose this facility that was going in at a school, and we were told by school board, we're not doing anything but following the bill that was passed 2 years ago. So we as parents went back. This is when I was a parent activist type. We found this out. We went in and looked into the bill and found out that Connie Leyva signed a backdoor deal with the county and with Planned Parenthood. Why does Planned Parenthood need medical facilities on our campuses? Why is that? Are parents not able to take their kids to the doctor anymore?
Brother, when you and I were kids, the school nurse could not even give us aspirin without one of the parents saying it's okay.
CharLee, she still can't. She still can't. She can't give an aspirin or cough syrup without a parent saying okay, but you can get a kid an abortion without ever notifying a parent.
Or hormone blockers now too.
Or hormone blockers. That's how scary our system is. And that's why the supermajority breaking is such an important thing. That's why I talk to so many different people, so many different platforms. I don't care where you're at. I'm doing events in Northern California right now because breaking the supermajority is the number one issue in California right now. We break this and the Republicans all of a sudden have a seat at the table.
Let's start by getting rid of the jungle primary, please.
I wouldn't doubt that, please.
Well, no, let's start with that. Most people don't even know what that is. They don't realize why it's so imperative that we actually show up to vote in the primary election, not the midterm, the primary election, because that's where elections are won and lost in this state now because of the jungle primary, which I hate, which means the top 2 vote getters go on. So time and time again, we have 2 Democrats going for the same office, or a Democrat and a rhino that's been planted by the Democrat into a central committee in some wherever. Los Angeles is notorious for that. San Francisco as well. You'll have a good, strong conservative actually running for office in your area, and your own central committee will bring up a rhino who's all shiny and pretty and says the right things and is the right demographic and everything's good, and run it against the conservative Republican in that election. That's not an accident. Somebody's getting paid a lot of money to do this crap. And it's their agenda. They worship the government. This is all socialism, man. This is how you either do it like they've done it in New York, where you have just a tremendous amount of stupid people willing to vote for their own demise, or you do it very sneakily like California has. Little bit at a time, keep knocking away at it. This is when I hear media people saying this is the most important election of our lifetime. I've heard that for 20 years now, and I'm like, oh, quit. It is important, yes, but in your lifetime. Now I'm saying that in California, this coming November is the most important election in our lifetime. Period. It's gonna win or lose here. This is our stand that we're going to have to take this coming November. So please get registered to vote. Register to vote.ca.gov. Vote for people like Greg ABDOUCH in his district, in your district there in Apple Valley, San Bernardino. You see his name on the ballot, vote. But don't just vote for him. Do a little research. Actually, open up that voter pamphlet that you get before you get the ballot and start reading about some of these people who are running and make a decision. Please, I beg you to put some time into this, because here's what we do. Midterms, we suck at showing up. We as the right, we just suck at it. We got to change that. And even in presidential elections where we'll show up, we won't vote the whole ballot. Oh, I'm voting for Greg. Okay, I did my duty. That's it. And you leave all those other seats open. You didn't even put any thought or time into it. And then a guy like Greg, we get blessed by having somebody like him representing us in our area. He's surrounded by enemies because we didn't take the time to put a little research into all the other people voting for things in our area, that we've got to be local action equals national impact. It has never been more true than this election. I want you to do well. And Greg, I wanted you to have you on because another reason. The left, let's say, Nancy Pelosi, who's stepping down.
Sure.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. But another witch is running to take her place, and that's Scott Wiener. That witch.
Oh, let's talk about him right now.
Let's talk about him, because his constituents, his voters in San Francisco, don't even bother giving $1 to his campaign because they know he's a shoo-in. He's got it done. He's going to win. They know that. So who's this incumbent that you're running against in your district?
James Ramos.
Okay. They know James is in a little bit of trouble. This guy, Greg ABDOUCH, is making some inroad. He's getting some traction. He was on CharLee's show. So that means 23 people at least have seen and heard what he has to say. We're going to send money to Ramos. We're going to send money to him. San Francisco Democrats are sending money to all these other districts to fight against people like Greg.
Right.
Do you understand what's going on? And they got a lot of money, and they know their little queen is going to win anyway. So they're going to run or help support people who are running against great conservatives like Greg. This is why we got to pay attention. And I'm asking you to please send him 20, send him 50. He can do so much. His campaign can do so much. And if he's paying out of pocket to run for office like this is horrible. On the right, so many of us, there aren't very many Steve Hiltons who've got a fortune already. There aren't very many people who've got that kind of money to sustain a campaign, which is getting more and more expensive every election cycle. We got to help out grassroots people like Greg. We've got to.
Come on.
Please make the effort. Where do we find you?
It's easy. My last name, ABDOUCHFORCA.com. It's that simple. Go to my website.
ABDOUCH4CA.com.
Yep. I'm on Instagram the same way. I'm on my website the same way. Facebook the same way. Here's how important what you said is, right? I know we're hurting. We're all hurting. Like, you can't drive in your car and not be hurting because of the fact of gas prices. And I don't even care if you have an electric vehicle. The electric prices are just as high as the gas prices.
It's just killing me.
We can't buy a hamburger, drink, and a fries for $20 anymore. You really can't. But if you'll donate $20 a month to a campaign for a candidate that truly believes in this state and that's fighting for this state and their freedom, you will change elections. It's not just about voting for the right candidate at the right time. That's the easy part. That's the must do. That's the bare minimum. Getting involved in these campaigns, volunteering, having meetings, introducing the candidates to people that you know.
And you don't have to live in his area to volunteer either. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I want to specify, you don't have to live in his area or in his district to volunteer. You can do phone banking stuff. You can make calls to people. Hey, do you know about Greg ABDOUCH? Do you know what he stands for? Do you believe in these things? Well, remember this name.
I have volunteers in Arizona. I have volunteers in North Carolina.
There you go. There you go. Good.
I have 28 people on my main campaign team, and only 2 people can vote for me. And one of them is my wife. So no, you don't have to live in the district. You have to believe in the cause. You have to believe in the cause. I believe in this so much. I took a 16-year business that I've owned, a construction company that was very successful, and I closed it down to run for office. I'm not doing this because I have some political game. I'm not doing this because I believe that, I need my name on a title. I need my name on a bill. I'm not doing this for any of that crap. I'm doing this because God put me in California for such a time as this. And I truly believe that he's not done with California yet. And if he's not done with California, then he needs people to step up to the plate and do the hard work and allow them to be used in places of authority. This isn't me. This isn't my campaign. This is his. And if it's his campaign and I believe in his mission, then he will do the hard work. But I have to be willing to get off the couch. I have to be willing to submit. I have to be willing to surrender to him. And when you do all that, it doesn't matter what you're giving up. It matters what you're doing for him. And that's why I'm running for office. That's why this is so important this year. I was sitting, you opened your show and you have a cross on your hat. You have Revelation 17. I got to tell you something. This got sent to me probably the beginning of the year. James Ramos, the guy I'm running against, nice guy. A lot of people in the community think he's a nice guy. He's actually a leader in his church. He actually does Bible studies for his tribe. Our government system opens up every session with prayer. I don't know if you know that or not, but our government session opens up prayer. Now, some states pray to the one true God. Some states
you can't even say in the name of Christ Jesus at the end of the prayer.
Some states allow you to pray to whatever you want. Like California, we've had satanic worshipers pray. We've had all kinds of weird stuff going on here. But the guy I'm running against, who is a professed Christian, who has a Bible study in his home, who supposedly leads people in this atmosphere, when asked to pray to open the assembly, he chose to make a chant to the bighorn sheep. I immediately sent that video to my pastor, and I said, I promise you, when in office, when I'm asked to pray, I will never pray to a false god. And if we're going to have leaders that are going to start leading people down a road and telling them that this is a prayer, and I'm not taking away from the Indian culture at all. That's not what I'm saying. But don't call it a prayer. Don't call it a prayer. Don't deface the name of God like that when you call yourself a Christian.
You know, what just came to mind was Jesus himself. And this, when I first got saved, I didn't get saved until later in life. And first time I read it, it had such a powerful impact on me that I've lived my life this way because Jesus himself said it. If you deny me before my Father on earth, I will deny you before, or no, if you deny me before men on earth, I will deny you before my Father in heaven.
Yes.
That has powered me in my whole walk with the Lord. And this guy had an opportunity to not deny, but instead embolden and proclaim the name of Christ Jesus in such a public setting as that. And instead, he caved. And he's a Democrat?
Yes, he is.
Okay. So I always have this question to anybody who claims to be a Christian, but yet is a Democrat. How do you justify that? How do you justify abortion? How do you justify affiliating yourself with the party of death? That's standing against traditional marriage and standing against the sanctity of life. How do you justify that? How do you justify that in church? And he's leading a Bible study?
Yeah.
Paul himself wrote about so-called Christians. That's abysmal. That's pathetic. And I want them out. I want them out. Now, I'm not electing pastors. That was my whole argument with President Trump. I'm not electing when they were talking about, oh, he did this and he did that. Well, first of all, let's look at the other presidents who have done similar things and worse that you all just thought are great.
Right.
But I'm not electing a pastor. I'm electing a CEO to run the most powerful corporation in the world. That's what I'm electing as president. But I also don't abandon my, I'm fiscally conservative, but socially conservative as well. I don't abandon that. I'm not going to. And that's important to me. So I'm not saying every single elected person or anybody running for office has to be a Christian. I'm not saying that, but it sure would be nice if they were. A lot of guys like you who are real true conservatives and Christ Jesus, followers of Christ Jesus, I'm seeing, it's been my experience, are having pushback from their own party, including especially their Central Committee, the Republican Central Committee. How have they been with you?
Careful, Charlie. You don't want to ask questions you don't want answers to.
No, I do want answers. I want to know because I want these people out. I want them out.
Republicans in my own district are endorsing a Democrat over a fiscally conservative Republican. I've even had other candidates in my area that have told me they are being asked to endorse the Democrat, and they are Republican candidates. I have had meeting after meeting after meeting, and here's what I say. I never asked permission to run for this seat. I only asked one person, and he told me yes. And so that's who I answer to, and that's the way I live my life. I never asked the Central Committee if I should run. I never asked other elected officials if I should run.
And that pissed them off because you bypassed that little machine. Yeah, they hate that.
But if we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. And in this day and age, if we're going to be an elected official and we're going to cry and whine and say that we're up against a supermajority and it's so hard in Sacramento and you don't know what we go through and you don't know and you're going to make all these statements. And then when you have a strong Republican candidate that puts their life on the line, right? This isn't easy. Running for office is not some joyride.
No, heck no. And suddenly you got a target on your back.
Oh, you take a financial hit. You take a an emotional hit. You have long hours. Like this isn't for the weak at heart. But I'm doing this because I believe in my community. And if you're going to do that and you're going to put a Republican label on you and you're a strong conservative candidate and somebody's going to endorse a Democrat over you and they're from your same party, like what are we standing for? What are we actually standing for at that point?
Anybody in your district who's hearing this right now and did not know this about your own central committee, please start showing up at their meetings and start letting your voice be heard and start paying attention to what's going on in your own backyard.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I am endorsed by the Republican Party. I'm endorsed by the Central Committee. I'm endorsed by all those. And the chair of the Central Committee actually donated to my campaign. So I'm not saying anything bad about all of them, but the majority of the Republicans in my area that are elected officials have refused to weigh in on my race. And some of them have even weighed on the other side. And that's where I have a problem. Because these are the same people that for the last 7 years, me spending my own money to go to Sacramento to help them fight against bills, me spending my own money and my own time to try to get them elected because I believed in their cause over their opponent's cause. And now just because my opponent has money or he's connected or what has he done for you? What has he done for you? Written you a check? Is that what this is about? My campaign manager and I have been talking, and I asked this question of these elected officials. How much money has to be on the front of that check for you to turn your back on your constituents and look the other way? What's your dollar amount? We used to ask this question when we were little, right, Charlie? What would it cost you? How much would it cost you to do that bad thing? How much money would it take? Or your buddies, right? Here's this drink full of crap that they've concocted. How much money needs to be on the table before you're going to drink it? Well, now our elected officials are playing the same game. Mm-hmm. How much money has to be donated to your campaign, or how much of a check needs to be written to your nonprofit, or what is it going to take for you to turn your back on the voters and the constituents of your area because you want the money? That's where I'm at. I told my campaign manager about 2 weeks ago, I said, I think I'm going to get ticked off and my gloves are about to come off. So congratulations, Charlie. You got it.
Awesome.
I've had enough. I've had enough of being in this state and watching what's going on and watching good people, the people of my community, the people in San Bernardino, the people in Fontana and Highland and Rialto and Redlands and Mentone and Devore. Those people deserve a voice. This country was founded on the fact that we take leaders, we take business owners and farmers and lawyers and doctors. We take people that are leaders in our community. We elect them to office and we ask them to go serve our needs. Our elected officials don't do that anymore. They sit up in their Eiffel Tower, they sit up on their ivory throne, and they say, I have more money than you, so you can't touch me. Well, I got news for you, James Ramos. There's 267,000 people in my district. They deserve a voice, and I'm going to give it to them. And that's where we're going.
I love it. I think this is fantastic. I'm so glad I met you. I'm glad you followed through and got on my show. And
thank you so much for the opportunity, Charlie. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. So I hope this has inspired you to actually go to his website and get involved and help in some way, somehow. Even get a whole group, whatever group you're a part of, include Greg into your list. Just the most important thing we can ever do for anything, anytime, anywhere is pray.
Yes. Yes.
Pray for him.
Yes.
Pray for his family. Pray for his safety. Because I'm guaranteeing you, he's got people who are, if they have not already started slings and arrows at him, they're about to. Yep. They're in the planning stages. Because they don't want to lose an inch of ground, because we have looked at 8 years of Governor Hairdo's disastrous policies, and a lot of us are finally frickin' waking up. Taken long enough, but I'm glad you're here. So go to ABDOUCH 4CA, ABDOUCH FOR for CA for California, ABDOUCH4CA.com. Yes. And get involved. Thank you, brother. Anything else Charlie. We didn't cover you want to say?
Nope. God bless you all. God bless what you're doing, Charlie. I thank you so much. And get out there and get involved. Don't let 2026 pass and you say, gosh, I wish I would have. This is the year.
Yeah.
Do it
This
year.
is the year.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right. And you want to help this show and you want to get involved with what I'm doing, you can always do that through my website, which is right there, charliesimons.com, CharLee, because my name's Charles Lee, CharLee, just one M, ONS with an S on the end, charliesimons.com. Get yourself one of these. Greg, you need one of these on your desk there. Let's talk about politics and religion. Big old 20-ounce coffee mug. Look at that baby right there. And, of course, it's red. Got a lanyard in there right now. I got shirts, hats, all kinds of stuff at my website in the merch store, charliesimons.com. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. But most importantly, America bless God.